Oh my God. I feel like we can be extremely hard on ourselves in things that we didn't reach and we didn't achieve. But really, we want to cultivate that self forgiveness, that inner wisdom, reclaiming our voice. Welcome to Empowermente, the headquarters of personal empowerment, where I help first generation Latinas go from surviving to thriving. I am Gina Moreno, an engineer turned alignment coach, speaker, and content creator. After breaking into big tech and being part of the 2% of Latinas in engineering, I realized that success means nothing if you're disconnected from yourself. Now, I help ambitious mujeres build magnetic personal brands, step into public speaking, and build mission-led businesses while feeling good while doing it. Here we talk about the real journey of breaking generational patterns, sharing your story to finally being seen, paid, and fulfilled for who you actually are. You'll hear honest conversations, mindset tools, and stories of Latina empowerment so you can grow with confidence, alignment, and corazón. If what we talk about today resonates with you today, this is exactly the work that I do with my clients inside my programs, from private coaching to next level Latina or my signature workshop. So grab your cafecito, amiga. I have mine with me right now. And let's dive into the conversations that will help you build a life, brand, and business that actually feels like you. Hola, hola. Thank you for being here. Thank you for clicking on Empowerment, the podcast, and listening to this episode today. This topic is going to be so good. I really wanted to take the time and reflect with you all, help you and guide you through the process of just thinking what your year was. What were the things that were good? What were the things that were not so good? I know this year was difficult for a lot of people, and that's okay. And I came up with this topic because yesterday I had a little self-care hour and I took a little bath and I was like, I really need to de-stress. And I was like, why don't I do some end of the year reflections? And so I looked up a YouTube video and I found this really good video. Her name is Jocelyn. She's also Latina, and I thought I would share some of her prompts along with some of mine. And yeah, I'm so excited for today's episode. Some housekeeping. I am hosting some monthly calls to connect with you, community, and some free coaching around a specific topic. And for January, of course, is going to be all around creating your 2026 identity. Let's start the year with the right foot. And I really hope that you join me on this. It is January 6th at 5 p.m. Mountain Time, and all the details are in the show notes. If you are listening after January 6th, there's still going to be alignment hour calls. Just check out my Instagram, Soy Gina Moreno, and you can check out when the next call is so that you can make sure to stay on the loop. Let's go ahead and get started. So let's think about 2025, okay? This year has been a lot, and I'm sure there were also good things from it, and there was different things that you uncovered, that you became, and I want to take this podcast episode to really simmer in that. So if you are in your home, take out your journal because this is going to be some juicy questions. And if you're driving, just kind of note them, and then maybe later you can come back and journal them. Another thing I like to do is do voice notes. So if you want to pause it and create your own little voice note with your answers, that's another way to document it. So I'm going to ask you 5 juicy questions today that you can think about as you're reflecting on 2025. And for next week's episode, I'm going to prep you for 2026. So I love this year because I'm super aligned with the year holidays and my content. So I'm super happy. So let's go ahead and get started with prompt number 1. If I could describe this year in one word, what would it be? Honestly, it's kind of hard to picture a full year in just a few seconds. It's how do I even figure that out? Honestly, what I ended up doing for this and the following prompts is that I went through my camera roll and I looked at the highlights and the lowlights of every single month. And I wrote down different words that really resonated with me. I'll share a few of mine. Authentic, push, trust, unmask, being myself and stopping the performance, unravel, blossom, uncover. And for me, the word of the year was unfold. And I want you to tell me why. For me, I think it was a natural unfolding of myself. And it feels like the year of experimentation, which was 2023, was completely closed. And it was a lot more established in who I am after all my self-discovery journey, after quitting my job and leaving a career and that identity. And it was truly the year that I could establish in who I am now. And it's almost like another layer of who I truly am. And that's why I called it Unfold. Answer this question the most honestly as you can. You can start with a few words and then narrow it down to one. Let's move on to question number 2. What emotion or feeling did I feel the most frequently this year? I love this question. This is such a juicy one because I love to talk about Gay Hendricks. He's a psychologist that talks about the upper happiness limit. And I truly believe we have certain patterns that we just do over and over and over because of feelings that we have. And we are used to certain feelings, even project them into new situations. So I'm curious to know, what were those feelings that came up over and over? Literally what I did is that I wrote down like January, February, March, April, May, up until December. And I wrote down a few words that I really related to every single month. And then I kind of got like the overarching feeling. Some of the words that I wrote down were fun, awe, presence, slow, integration, overwhelmed, blessed, growth, discomfort, lost, yearning, and then again, integration, discomfort, growth, adventure, fun. So you can see some of the patterns. I think overall, it was growth through discomfort and integration and overwhelmed. I think those were the biggest words that really stood out to me as feelings that I felt throughout the year. And it's telling that I do like how there was a lot of more positive ones and there were also negative ones like overwhelmed and yearning, but I actually don't see them as negative. I think it's more so overwhelmed because of something good, like good problems to have. And I think it's like a reframing into how I see my life overall. So I hope this was super juicy for you, and feel free to pause this so that you can fully flush out your thoughts. All right, let's go to number 3. What experiences felt aligned with who I want to be and what I want to do? This is such a good one because you can really uncover what are the experiences that have made you more you and that you want to continue to have. And it's not just about like accomplishments and things that happen in the physical, but also like internal things like realizations, glimmers. Like it could be so many positive things that are going to be your compass for next year. I'm going to share some of the ones for mine. Oh my gosh. So speaking at Harvard was such a big one for me. And it was not just because I spoke at the Harvard, but it was because it was a specific topic, which was mental health and wellness. And it was my ideal person, which is like overachieving first generation Latinas. I also loved all of the signs that I received this year. I felt like super connected to spirituality, and I feel like that's aligned with who I want to be. A lot of synergy and everything that I'm doing. Things becoming easy. Like I'm used to like working really hard and everything being super hard, but I feel like a lot of things felt easy this year, and I love that for me. I want to continue that. So let's move on to number 4. If this year was a class, what would be the title of it and the lessons included in it? This is such a good one. You really have to think about this one. So if you had to just name the biggest lesson that you had, what would it be? For me, it was learning the art of not performing. So good. And then I put like some explanations of like why we perform and learning that, and why you showing up authentically is magnetism. Everything becomes easy when you're you and you're authentic. So go ahead and pause it if you need to, or just quietly reflect on it. Question number 5, why do I deserve to be proud of myself this year? Oh my God, I feel like we can be extremely hard on ourselves in things that we didn't reach and we didn't achieve. But really, we want to cultivate that self-forgiveness, that inner wisdom, reclaiming our voice. So why do you deserve to be proud this year, darling? For me, I wrote down, I am literally giving it my all. I really fell deep into self-trust and trust in the universe. Honestly, on point with taking care of myself, sleep, meals, working on adventures, and so many things. Yeah, I am proud of myself for many, many things this year. So make sure that you just don't write accomplishments, but also like your progress and internal things as well. Lastly, actually, I have a bonus question for you. If I could rewrite one moment from this year, what truth would my higher self say? And this is an invitation for you to rewrite anything that really wasn't aligned with you this year, and how do you want to rewrite that narrative? And I would invite you to go further and even do a visualization and really think about what it was. And that concludes my 5 questions plus the bonus. What did you think? Did you uncover anything new? Did you realize that you had more things to be proud of yourself for? Did you realize that you were in an emotion that you really didn't want to have this year? Let me know in the comments or DM me at Soy Gina Moreno or Empowerment the Collective. And that is it for today, y'all. Short and sweet, but I wanted to provide this way of really understanding what you thought about this year and what are the ways that you can carry the good things to 2026. Muchos saludos. I wish you some happy holidays and happy new year. As always, I'm cheering you on and I love you. Bye. Hey, amiga, if this podcast is speaking to your soul and you're ready to step into the next level, here's how you can work with me. For personalized guidance, there's my private coaching program. This is where we go really deep. I'll hold your hand and walk beside you as you learn to own your voice, whether that means creating content that truly resonates with you to be magnetic, or finally share your story on stage. If you're ready to be seen and heard for the powerhouse that you are, this is the perfect fit. Now, if you're craving accountability and community, Next Level Latina is for you. So this is my signature group program that's helped women become way more confident, visible, and grounded in their experiences and who they are. Inside the circle, mujeres have gotten their first keynotes and gotten paid for it, their first workshops, their first partnerships and brand deals, and have launched offers and businesses that really reflect who they are. We dive deep into messaging, mindset tools, visibility, and transformational healing, because all of this comes from within. I'll guide you through the same lessons that helped me on my journey. And if you're not quite ready to that full commitment, I have a few workshops for you. One is called Book and Paid, which is a workshop where I teach you how to land and monetize your first speaking engagement. And number 2 is Magnetic Latina, Heal the Fear of Being Seen. This is a guided EFT session to help you unlock all of the blockers that you have about being seen and being visible. And finally, build a brand that feels authentically like you. You can find all the links in the show notes. So excited to hear from you and witness your own transformation. Because, amiga, you deserve to thrive, not just survive. Whether it's mindset, visibility, or strategy, there's a space here waiting for you.